the final day of PUBG Europe contenders for this week. We've got 3 games of Miramar coming your way as always. And you've got myself, James Banks, joined by the name is Toby. And the main thing we got to look at is, do we continue the madness, Toby? Because yesterday we had 2 circles.
Yeah.
I'm laughing already because it was just insanity.
I mean, Miramar was cities.
Yep.
Then we go to Erangel with that fairy pier thing that we shouldn't even get into. If it's anything like as a follow-up to what we've seen, we have to go to one of the islands. Like either that or go way up north to the military base or something crazy like that.
I'm feeling like we might just get an island special. I've got it in
I
my
really
bones.
hope we don't.
After what we saw yesterday, we saw city ending, we saw the weirdest fairy pier I've ever seen, and then a pretty normal-ish open ending is how it came down to. But this is our standings as they sit at the moment. Gamerlegion currently large and in charge, but they've been swapping, toing and froing with other teams. It's like game in, game out, depending on how they can do. What's nice, though, is when Gamerlegion drop off from first, they just go and win the next game. So maybe that's just a part of the plan.
That could be the strategy to throw in there. As long as you can get your win on the day, then the average point total will be good enough to keep you up there, of course. And they are indeed still sitting in first place. But what is interesting to me is how close things have gotten together. We do have from 8th down to 9th a bit of a gap, and then a 12-point gap down to 10th as well. But everything else, I mean, you see everyone's neighbors. They're right around the corner.
And this is what we come down to now at the moment, right? After this, there is only 1 more week remaining. And some of these teams are going to be shaking, especially teams like Avangar, We Need a Home, and 4AK, who are all semi-close to getting towards this 12th spot. But these other teams, Winside, they've had good games come out of here. Moonwolf, they had that win previously. Quickmath, they've just somehow been the no longer passive, now semi-aggressive team that's actually seeing them rank up some extra points in here. A lot of these other teams now are going to be thinking, what do we need to do?
I mean, Riddle had themselves a win yesterday. They want to get off to a good start here. Avangar, to me, is the only team that really haven't seen enough from over the last couple of weeks. Because you can say, oh, Avangar did this and they did that. Yeah, but that was a month ago. I mean, when you go, if we go and look at recent results, Avangar just hasn't been putting up the numbers that they will need in order to get up anywhere close to 12th place.
Well, just look at the final stage where we're at the moment, right? Every game in the final stage for Avangar has not been the Avangar we saw in the group stages or even the Avangar we see in other tournaments across the board. No, this has been a very awkward position for them to fight from. And when it comes down to it, you got to say, what is going wrong with these guys? Because obviously they're not changing things up massively. They're clearly individually skilled. We've seen the moments where it steps up. But in this lobby, they just can't seem to get things together. It feels like they've met their matches at times.
The thing for me is that Avangar, especially in Miramar, came out with that whole we won't enter the circle before circle 3 or 4, of course, depending on where it goes to begin with.
Yep.
But if they go back to something like that, because teams, there are certain teams that like to sit around in the edge for a while, but if they go back to being as late as that, that might be what's going to pay off for them. Point system, for those of you who care, for those of you who know or don't know exactly what it is, you got it lined up right here. 10 points for a win and only a single point per kill, but that adds up rather quickly.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? We've seen multiple teams now not even make it within, say, the top 6 and yet get 7 or 8 kills alongside and be nicely on those overall standings at the end of that particular match. So that can be the thing that pays off in a big way for you if you want to see yourself jump up a little bit, because placement's all well and good, but some of these teams have been getting active very early. Sometimes, yes, they meet their doom, right? They lose so many players, but they have also been able to like take out other entire squads, etc. As our 3 matches for today will be starting very soon, ladies and gentlemen, and it is all Miramar this time around. We to and fro, we flip and flop, day in, day out. We go Erangel, Miramar, until we get to the end of all the games to be played.
Can't believe we played 33 games already.
Dude, I know.
It's crazy how fast it's been. And that's just the finals. We had the whole group stage prior to that. It's actually crazy. It is actually crazy, and there's plenty more coming, of course.
Oh, there definitely is. Now, this time around, so far in this week, right, top players, we've got Alea up there, example. Oko is still hanging. Oko's probably the most consistent of always being within the top amount of kills we've seen across the board. And then we've got Tomil in there as well, and Melman. But what I like so far is at least from Tomil, he's got 16, Oko 16, 18 for example, 18 for Alea. It's a bit more close.
Yeah.
We'd had other weeks where certain, like 1 or 2 players would just run away and no one else could even be close to them. So it's been very competitive once again.
It has, and we can go back to saying it yet again. We haven't had that one team that just goes and shows everyone that this is their group, this is their lobby. There's a reason it's so close first place. Well, I mean, arguably Gamerlegion have come up from behind, taking it away from Northern Lights, and they're sitting rather comfortable in it right now. But even Gamerlegion can go out in 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th place with 0 points, right? So there's not really that one team that says that comes in with the whole domination on it, and I kind of like that. Must admit, I kind of like that is everyone's game to be played around here.
Yeah, and I think if we did just have like one team that was super dominant, we'd actually be kind of less enjoyable, right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
They run around, they have a field day, but it also means that they're so far ahead of other teams that it's now not even funny. It's just an easy one, right? It's like, oh, okay, they're winning again. Where this, it is so competitive. Anyone can win. We've got teams. Oh no! Oh Lord!
You wanted it, James. You wanted it.
Well, it's not my 2 islands on the east, but I'll take it if we can get this one in there.
Could you imagine? The only reason, for those of you guys who haven't been watching, for those of you guys who didn't watch along yesterday or the last couple of days,
dear.
we have been granted the pleasure of horrible circles for players, which has amounted to great content for viewers. And of course, there's still plenty of land in it. It's just the fact of the matter that you have an area of Miramar, such a big map with so much land mass, and yet we can somehow manage to get circles that have like 40% water in them. It's...
Well, this is what's crazy, right? When you look at Miramar as a map, if anyone's looking at the map screen, obviously you guys know it anyway, but all of the north is just land, yeah? It's only the south and the east that has water around it. So of all the places we can go, it's like, let's go hard, far, deep down south and give as much water as possible in there. That's got to be about 30%, 35% water in there.
At least. And, well, one thing you can count as water potentially as well as, of course, all of Los Leones. Sure, when the circle does go there, that becomes a, okay, we can fit in plenty of teams. But once it's there, but people don't want to commit to it yet, that becomes a big old minefield that people try to avoid.
Now, do you remember the game we had that ended here?
Yeah, I do with the Zoekt Een Naam one.
And
they killed Maxis, or they punched Maxis, or
because he was trying to,
like
he was trying to pan it out.
Well, he wanted to pan, and they didn't want to.
Like,
that's how it was. Yeah, he sailed underneath the island and just chilled down there for the entire game.
We've seen some insanity go down.
We've been there.
This is what makes it so interesting.
We have been there indeed, and of course, there's very little chance that it does happen. But for those of you guys who do embrace the chaos, just like us, spam some island circle, bless RNGs in the chat. And who knows? Maybe the old PUBG lords and gods will listen to him.
Do me a favor, guys. Let's have a last day where it's super epic, and we will get everyone just going crazy on an island. And
yeah,
I'm down for it.
Keep in mind that it's of course not last day. It's just
no,
last day of the week.
This week.
But yeah, exactly.
We've
just so
still
there's no
got
misunderstanding.
a lot of matches to be played.
Yeah, 15 in total, counting this one as well. And Quickmath. Well, I mean, they're yeah, I know. I used to work as a cashier. Could you tell?
You've done some crazy jobs.
I have done all jobs.
You've done everything.
All jobs, with exceptions.
Toby the male gigolo over here.
I have done all jobs. All jobs. No, but in any case, Quickmath, just to go back to them while we're continuing our nice panoramic views of the teams looting. They're a team to me that, sure, they got that 17 kill win on a rankle.
Yep.
But kills-wise, that's actually been Miramar. They've been able to get those up on, at least in my recognition. That's where they've had those. Okay, we still got 20 teams left. Wait, what? Quickmath has 6 kills already. Whereas to on a rankle, they normally tend to not get active at all until there's, 6 teams remaining? I mean, they can come in there with 2 kills total, right? Even though there's still 4 players alive. And that's a skill in itself. The fact that they can get that far and having avoided confrontation to such an extent is very impressive. But as you guys saw the score, the point system just before, and as we've talked about as well, these kills, I mean, over the span of so many games, it does really come in handy and necessary too.
Well, we'll be watching how it's all going to go down on our first Miramar game. Certainly not an easy one in terms of rotations and where teams want to go for.
Yeah.
We can already see on the big map. If you want to bring it up, we've got the map stream. Put on your second screen, your second device, or just flick onto it every now and again when you want to see what's going on. But Desperado, they are going to go earlier than most teams, trying to beat out Besiktas and PG18 on making their rotations down. We need a homer getting involved as well. Everyone is sending it south. Interestingly enough, Zen, they were the closest to it. They're going to be grouping up with Gamerlegion here. We're going to see Simsy trying to catch some teams on the rotate. I said about Desperado going off, and Calvin Klein, he's just like, I'm gone. That's it. I'm done. But there's a nade coming out off towards him. Might have been a little bit too far away, and yep, it doesn't reach him just yet. But Simsy will be well aware of what's just happened. Calvin was trying to show him like the Suicide Squad option there. He was like, I'll fake my own death, and you won't tackle me anymore.
I thought it was just one of those airbag tests. Smashing your vehicle into a lamp with 120 kilometers an hour. That's doink.
It's a way to do it. Fake, though. He's spotting players out. Doesn't want to take the shots yet. He is on his own. So that's important because the other Desperado players have gone forward. Simsy's going to keep just running forward and seeing if he can catch any of these guys. And he should go on the hunt because this is where you're going to catch a lot of these rotating teams. Avangar's about to join their way down as well. Winside, PGA team, Riddle, all on this eastern side. They're coming down. This is insanity. This is going to be 5 pretty heavy-hitting teams who have all had wins at their own times, getting clustered together here down south.
And that's the thing, having Los Leones bouncing you out further east and having the water and the east bouncing you further west, that just causes a big melting pot of teams trying to maneuver through the same small area.
Now, I do want Fake to be careful because you've avoided all the Besiktas players, you've not given away your spot, and then you've got Simsy now just tapping away at you.
Look at all these rotations. You can see how many, excuse me, you can see how many teams out in the east try to make their way on in.
Yeah.
And it really is coming to be a cluster. Everyone's leaving Los Leones, understandably so. No one's made it all the way down to the island yet. I'm actually a bit surprised. We see Zoekt Een Naam wanting to play a similar position to what they normally do. They like to sit down in their T section, but the boom, he's going to find himself the first, and that's going to be Ultra once again for Besiktas. That has, well, I mean, a little bit of a tendency, not so much of it, but a little bit of a tendency being Ultra as the first play out for the team.
The boom taking a lot of damage his way, though, does have to be careful. He's got his teammates with him, but at this distance, they want to look at how much they're going to commit to this, right? Because, again, it's early fighting. Yes, if you can get a knock early on, but maybe if you start to get too much fire shot towards you, like Lux is landing a few shots now, you just decide to back away because Winside are close to getting in the circle. They do have to be aware, though, that Tomil is trying to sneak up behind them.
Yeah, Simsy further down, and he's going to try and back off. Lux has, well, I mean, his vehicle is blown up, so he's not going to be able to get any of that, but he's going to try and make a run for it anyway. He's in the open, though. Gifted lands a headshot, and that is going to be him down and out momentarily. But Tomil just buying himself and his teammate a bit more time.
Tomil's in a brilliant position. Put himself up high, went all the way around Winside, able to take a few shots. Okay, didn't get the knock in, but he at least kept them at bay, pushed them away to say, all right, look, you cannot just take us down very easily here. We will put up a bit of a fight.
With that said, though, seems to me like they will be just 2 guys up. Simsy and Tomil trying to make the escape here by themselves as the new circle is going to pop in just about 35 seconds, and that's when we'll be told, James, of how chaotic this one is going to turn out to be. Because right now, at least, I mean, everyone's down somewhat south towards the water. We have, of course, a centering up of teams. And then, at the same time, everybody wants to be somewhat close to Los Leones, too. You don't want to go in there, but you want to be close enough that should the circle go there, you want to be one of the first ones in to get those prime spots.
That's what it's all about. Prime real estate that you want to grab yourself and say, this is my home now. I will defend it with my life. I will defend it with everything I have. But Simsy won't be defending much. Nades come out towards him. Winside looking to finish him off. And Besiktas, they tried to stick around and fight teams on their rotations. Well, it's now cost them quite a lot because Desperado already made their way down the circle.
It's not necessarily island, but there's a bit of water in it. There's a bit of water.
It's definitely still an option.
I guess to the benefit of the players, we have excluded Los Leones for the most part. So at least it won't be a city ending. And you know, you can't get everything you want. You cannot get it all. So at least it's not a city ending. But for Washout, probably would have hoped that it had gone somewhere else. Northern Lights, the deep, gets a knock onto 1, trying to look for more, but he's not going to get it.
But I like that. He gets himself started. He's got his teammates near him. There's no need for him to push onto anything just yet. Group up, don't overextend. Se7en down here getting involved, but Calvin and Klein, he's going to get the job done. Finds himself the first kill. Buster, quite far away. So again, Se7en, have a player go down early, and they're not really in a position to try and fight back against this.
Yeah, they thought they were early on the push in, and they were not expecting them to be right there around the corner. Unfortunately, does go down there. Oh, nope, just over the top. Not going to have him Krabik down from another team, too. So Frank and Buster going to be all by themselves. Make that maybe. I was going to say Buster down, and he indeed does go down and out in just a short moment. Nowhere in hell Frank is going to be able to get the rest on up. And that's the thing with this circle. You think you're rotating early, but honestly, because no one's down in the southern island, there's 50% of the circle available to play from. We're like 2 circles ahead of time when we talk landmass right now. So these teams, therefore, so much closer together than what they normally would in a second circle of a game.
Now, Zen have been down here for the longest time. They've pushed Gamerlegion away. They've actually gone to reposition themselves. We've got Tornado Energy nearby, 4AK as well. But Zen, they've got a good position. They've got a good compound to fight from. And they've got that slight on the hillside they can work with as well. So they can see a lot from their position.
See Mackin, he realized that no tech. We're going to make that rotation out from there. Ooh, O'Connell running in the open. Maybe the no tech teammate gave up his position a bit. You never want. If you're trying to drive away and you have a teammate that's running in the open, just do a bit of a circle around, so when they do shoot at the vehicle, they don't spot the other player, because all of a sudden O'Connell was caught miles out in the open, but Ares is now there to give some sort of suppressive fire, should allow for his teammate to get away.
Ronnie, aggressive as always. Always looking to see what fights he can take here, and there's some nice shots being landed onto Melman. Unable to find the knock, has to get the reload in. Had he not been able to do that, that was probably good potential would have found the knock.
For sure. Had he had the ammo needed to keep on shooting on that angle, could have been a really, really good one on that, because that's not something you anticipate when you're Melman and trying to find some sort of cover in there. Tummel, he's gone south of the road, down on the beach. He's sitting, and well, I mean, he'll be able to sit there for a little while longer, but him being all by himself, it's not going to be the aggressive Tummel that we normally see, I would assume at least.
No, he's going to be sat over his deck chair, catching the sun for a little bit, working on his tan, and just waiting for hopefully plenty of other players and teams to die so he can potentially get some placement points.
That would be the opportune, or optimal scenario for him, of course. But depending on where the next circle goes, if you want to get that island ending, he might be better off just jump in the water immediately and start swimming.
Heduka was able to find a knock onto Quickmath's Peltzage, and they're fighting up towards the north. Moonwolf are slightly further in. They're pincered between We Need a Home and Quickmath. But again, yes, there's lots of space here at the moment, but there's still plenty of areas these teams can fight from. The moment you start moving, like Nailup was finding now, oh, Nailop, that's awkward. You're lucky OK Bro was missing all these shots, because that could have been you going down early, and this gets a bit nicer. We've cut off most of the water. There's no island in it anymore. And everyone else can say, all right, we kind of got a good idea of what we got to work with here.
And for the most part, the players are already in as well. You can see the road that kind of crowns around the top up towards Northern Lights, then over towards Zoekt Een Naam and down all the way towards Winside. That road is going to cut off all the players on the northern side. And if you're no-tag or Gamerlegion right now, that is going to be your call to sit around, sit tight, and start harvesting. Because if they have to keep on pushing down south towards you, that road is going to be your dead man's land, and you better land those shots once they come running.
Okay, bro, he's just tempting fate with this one. Keeps poking out. Know exactly where he is. Nemrith trying to land the shots. Is able to hit him down a little bit further. Won't find the knock though, and the Deep's not looking just yet to get involved, but he will ensure that his teammates got cover.
Manages to make it over to the other guy, and you can see the guys in Northern Lights. They are split off right now. Perfectix and Quizzy, they're nowhere near. So, fortunately, I guess you can say for PG, unfortunately for Northern Lights, PG haven't realized that they're in a 2-2 split, because that could potentially have been them pushing, because they need to make a move at some point soon. And the fact that they haven't yet means that they probably don't have the info that they want to make it.
And that's it. It's a lot of this blind following now, because we haven't had many of these southern circles. We're not aware of where teams maybe would like to go or what spaces they'd like to see taken in. And it's all about getting that information early on here.
Yeah, we saw one of the guys in Gamerlegion once again starts tabbing away. You want to make the room for yourself. You want to make sure that you can keep your opponents at bay. Bjorn is going to try and jump out, trying to see if he can get some more info on towards the Zoekt Een Naam players. Page went down before, but has been rest back on up. And now We Need a Home down by the road, looking to make a crossing.
Always crossing that road is very dangerous, not because of the cars, but because it leaves you open to everyone to have a good look at you. You stand out like a sore thumb when it comes to it. O'Connell, he's trying to make a run on, but there's some nice shots landed by top. Plenty of damage, but again, no knock. He's just forced him to cower behind a rock for now.
It's impressive to me how we've only lost 7 players so far. It's been a chaos as far as circles, actually. But somehow everyone's managed to dodge and weave and avoid each other, but that's of course only going to last just so long. Peltzage and 2Ho both gone down, but Polyderic is taken down in return, and that's a big cost for them. Even though they did win the trade 2-for-1, they're only 2 guys up there. Lipson and Rita aren't there to assist at all.
Maxtor still trying to fire off some of those shots. He wants to try to land it at some long-range distance. That's where he thrives the most. Now we're starting to see more players go down, though, and this is across the entire map. We're seeing it from Quickmath, Moonwolf, Zen, they're awake into it. Northern Lights taking shots, and it's no one person fighting one team. This is just loads of chaotic mini-fights going on.
See Rip taking damage. He's going to get knocked as well. Hope he doesn't have a nade, because that could have been a triple kill coming in for him. Instead, I believe all of Quickmath, will get back up on their feet. New circle pops, and there we go. And, well, honestly, on the northern side there's quite a bit of room to work with, because, well, Northern Lights, they split off on this side, and all the guys that were sitting up there earlier, they've been forced to move around. So if you're Northern Lights right now, you've got to look south, you've got to see what's available, and you've got to make a move now, because if you don't, that's going to be other teams swooping away that spot from you.
Melman trying to land some shots. They've been fighting with 4AK for the longest time since 2 circles ago. This time they've got closer to each other now. And 4AK got a bit of high ground to work with here. Ronnie Craze spotting them out. Oh, more shots coming out towards them. Ronnie trying to land it. He is under pressure massively. Compot will go down. Melman's not able to help him out, and they're going to be finishing him off straight away with that one. 4AK will take the lead in the battle against each other for now, but they've got to be careful because Zen aren't too far away.
Example couldn't get an angle because of the hill formation there towards him, unfortunately. So Circle's going to start closing in as we speak, and Melman and Leah, well, I mean, they're caught quite separate from each other, but as you can see, Havoki up top, he's trying to hold them off down there, but he has a full team of Zoekt Een Naam pushing on towards him, and he has to be ready for that in just a moment. He wasn't.
Oh, he was definitely not ready. You're just waiting for it to happen. Zen, they come over the top and they put Havoki down. Now, this is where 4AK can be very scared because you are in between both. Northwest has already disappeared up into the circle. Moonwolf's actually going to be the first team eliminated there as Resu and Oku get naded by PG-18. Now, 4AK will escape for now, but where can they get themselves some additional cover here?
Yeah, they've found, well, I mean, they found a little place to lay low inside the circle. They do have the compound there to work for them. Vex helping out a bit as they get inside the building. But for how long are they going to be able to sit tight? That's the big question. North of where they have them down south is so damn open.
2-0.
Nail up straight to the face. Not a lot you can do. He's going to go down, I would assume. Second knock coming in for him. PEL says he's going to commit to it. Yeah, but it's not going to matter. Nail up gets him down. That's going to be him out as well. And Pelsish and his teammate in Mise. Well, we talked about them before. These roads, they ain't easy to cross, especially not when you have a team just on the other side.
They've got Deez and Yannick now around the side. Could catch Quickmath off guard. Could sideswipe him completely. Looks like that's going to be what's happening. The nade also goes out, but Quickmath get eliminated. Both GL and PG get involved in that one.
Not a whole lot they could do. They were simply too late to the rotation. And I mean, even though they probably would have wanted to be earlier or faster, there was no way they could just plow through all those teams they had to fight to get down there, unfortunately. A lot of teams were coming from that northwestern and northeastern side, and they just got caught in the turmoil.
Tom Hill's being found at the same time. Not working out well for him. Besiktas, they fought from early on. I don't think they picked up any kills either, sadly. They tried fighting, but every team wanted to have a pop at them instead.
Yeah, they were, well, I mean, they stopped to hold them off and didn't really work out the way they would have wanted it to. Rita now trying to get some shots connected, but that's not going to work. Vasco's going to toss a nade straight on his face. Get her taken down and out. Vasco did go down, though. There's a bit of cost in it. You can see it's NATO energy. They want to get in on it.
I'll say one thing there. I love that, though, because you can see from Rita's position that it's so hard to see that nade coming out towards you when you're already shooting, you're already in a fight, trying to hide behind a tree. Not too much you can do from those positions.
Well, it is a really tough place to play from Shoes Corp between two teams like that, and with both of them being in nade range, well, it's not exactly going to make things easier. We're excluding all the area in the south, only making things harder here. Plenty of fights happening as we speak. Zoekt Een Naam and Tornado Energy squaring off against one another. In the meantime, we also have Gamerlegion and PG trying to get things going here. These goes down. Bjorn able to stay alive for now.
Lots of utility being used. The smoke's being planted down. Yannick running around now. Wants to get back towards his team. As the Deep's going to take down Dice. And now we're going to see what Bjorn can do from this position. Mac and Dark's on the floor close by to him, but he knows there could be other teams getting closer. He's going to have to use those smokes to his advantage and hope that more teams don't get involved. As Zen and Tornado, they seem to stop fighting with each other for now. We're going to be looking at 4AK taking on Desperado. Desperado, they're in a prime position, right on the edge of the circle, but you can see so much from here. Look at the high ground they have on multiple teams.
They have a tough task ahead of them. Sure, they have the compound and the hard cover, but well, they need to make sure none of these teams pass around them, because if that next circle goes further north, that's going to be them held on the outside. So they need to shoot and hold everyone at bay and make sure they go south around instead of the western route.
Frank looking to try and find himself somewhere safe to hide for a little bit longer. He can hear everything that's going on around him as Desperado now taking shots. The Desperado have been active once again from very early on. They've been getting involved in this. Could this be the game to turn things around for them a little bit here?
I mean, they have to, as I said before. If they let those guys get further in towards the center of the circle than they are, that's going to be them held off potentially. Frank's still alive, just chilling as best as he can inside that one-story building. In the meantime, Desperado turreting their way out towards everyone.
They're able to take down T-Bone,
Wow.
then Page will fall next, and that's Zen going out of it. 5 kills already for Desperado, and they're not done straight away. Getting active against Tornado, applying the pressure, the nades coming out as well. They might be able to escape in time, but for now, Tornado know that they do not want to go and take this fight.
Yeah, and there are only 2 guys alive as well. Haven't really had the easiest time making the rotation on up from there. They need to just continue around, try and find the new entry point to the circle. But a team that has been quiet and played on the edge of the circle for the longest of time, Avangar. 4 guys alive still, yet to really get into the points as far as kills go. But they have a good chance of getting something going, and the Noctiv is already there. That's going to be their first kill.
Tornado can't catch a break. Started with 4 AK, then went up against Zen. Now Desperado, and finally Avangar are going to try and finish him off here.
How do you rotate from here if you're Avangar? You cannot just stay pinned on the edge.
Tornado will fall in 10th place.
Yeah, they needed to find some sort of room in an unbreachable wall, and that's going to be nade right on the money. And he does get the knock on towards Gifted, so trade each way. That nade a bit too far. Clip, throw one more if you have it. Just pin a little further down.
Clip's just looking for cover. He knows there's other teams taking shots at the same time.
Hello there, buddy.
Moon. Okay, you admittedly probably wouldn't expect that. No way, but the timing on how that worked out, less than ideal for them.
He was one with the Bucky, and now the new circle pops, and we got 3 of 25 players alive inside this circle. It is a hellhole of a place to finish off the game as we go out into the open fields. Unfortunately, and now no tag. Well, they managed to make their way around. Avangar there trying to full-on carousel around them as well. So Se7en and company going to make their push up on towards them. Do they want to commit to the compound, though? Or do they just want to make the run around? Kill stolen. That's going to be yours secured.
Tube out in the open. Aros and O'Connell still in the house, but now Avangar are going to try and take a fight against them. O'Connell took a bit of damage. Avangar's trying to use the smokes to ensure as they do push up out of this, they've also got a bit of cover to work with. But this is going to be so difficult for them because this is not just 2 teams they're fighting with. They are right out in the open. They're exposed. They've got no compound to sit behind.
I like the way that Maxis was playing this one. Get around the building. Try and see if you can get yourself an off angle. And also, if you can get all the way to the other side, there's a chance that you can potentially pin them in. You have to always make sure that no one's behind you. Max is always going to hold it close and knock. If goes down, gets the knock in return, though, and now O'Connell by himself inside the building.
Maxwell's nade, will that work out? Doesn't go far enough to take down Aros. Maxwell out onto O'Connell. Nicely done. Finishes him off as well. This is not looking good for no tag team. O'Connell down. Aros bleeding out. Maxwell able to heal himself up. The rest of Avangar still up and running. 4 alive, and they're wanting to push on this.
Yeah, that means that Gibbet cannot do anything to engage. They need to just play it aggressive and push on through. Frank eventually will be found. Talsera secures the kill, and they've still got 4 guys up, and now they're running into a 3-man strong Gamerlegion, and we're currently sitting in first place trying to hold them off here. But look at the push, look at the positioning they have. I would argue that Desperados is sitting rather well in it as compared.
Yeah, how do Gamerlegion want to try this? Few grenades going up and out. For now, it's just going to keep him at bay. Calvin climbed around the side. That nade actually not too far away from him, but it's not going to connect any damage. And it's just this waiting game. Gamerlegion know that they're going to have a disadvantage going into this, and I don't mean just about the numbers, but in terms of the position, because look at Desperados already. They're aiming to get a bit of the higher ground here to fight from, and they can barrel those nades out towards them. Hamster does only manage to tag him up once, but that's not good enough as Fex is going to hit the deck. This is not going to work out for him, and Desperados know if they can push on this, this could be the key moment, but they've got to keep Calvin Klein alive. They need to keep this squad strong, and Mac and Darky's not going to allow it to happen.
The flanker got flanked and he was taken down. Unfortunately, Calvin's such a great player when it comes to making those sneaky pushes around the side. That time around, only 1 kill off it. Didn't get a whole lot more, but in the end, it should be what they needed. Got a bit of a disruptions, and Hamster now being all by himself, he can't engage in anything. And all of a sudden, Northern Lights come into charm in this one.
Yeah, Northern Lights saw what was going on. Hamster is now stuck in between them, proned and ready. Hoping that maybe Desperado will forget about him for a little bit. And fight on with Northern Lights. As Avangar have managed to take such a good spot in this circle.
Quessy of all people landing that 3rd party and 3x spray down towards him. Still more players to be dealt with, but 6 kills so far for Northern Lights.
Quizzy is scary fast with those spray downs. Throws out the few nades as well. He's able to connect them. Tozera's going to die out. Quizzy's trying to stand strong, but Fake's looking to push up on him. You can see him starting to approach the position. I love this from Quizzy. He's moving back. He's wanting to group back up with his teammates. He doesn't want to overextend himself.
You got the finish off on 1 guy. Got the kill confirmed. That means that you guaranteed have for yourself a upper hand as far as the numbers go. So utilize it as best as you can. Okay, bro, takes out Hamster. They knew he had to push eventually, and Gamerlegion, current first place team, will go out in 6th place. Now Quizzy finds one more, of course he does. It's going to be Max's Saw knocked. Avangar starting to take casualties too.
And that was unexpected there. Quizzy able to do a lot of damage onto Maxor, and he had nowhere to look, nowhere to run, and he will go down because of it. This puts Northern Lights in a great position with 4 alive, up against 3 on Avangar, 2 on Riddle, 2 on Desperado, and 1 for no tag team. Give it. He's been holding on ever since he saw Desperados run through the rest of his team.
It's been really intense over the last couple of minutes here with the fights on the west. Everything on the east, on the other hand, has been rather quiet. Riddle still in the mix, Give it trying to stay put as well. And it was pretty much Northern Lights to dictate where that action would come in, because they were the ones that committed west to get the third-party chance. They could have pushed out east, but they did not have the info that they needed. On the western side, everybody was shooting all over the place, so it was all the audible cues they needed.
I like this from Cold Dementor and Fate. They know they're outnumbered, so prone it down right on the edge, see if anyone's going to push onto you. They'll have a good vantage point if they can land the first shots, but Clips can also help them out here. Riddle, from the distance, there'll only be 2 of them alive, but they're going to go long ranging it up from east to west onto a couple of the Desperado players.
They have the safety of cover over there, and they need to make some room for themselves should they want to push further inside this potential next circle. If it doesn't hard shift towards them, which it does not, they're just outside of it. I believe Yord actually might be inside in his position up there. But as you can see here, Fake and Colder, they're holding an angle, and outside the new one too. It's going to be a hard one for them.
I think now when it comes down to it, Avangar are going to be happy with the overall position down south. They're aware of Desperado, but it's Give it that could cause them a problem. Northern Lights looking to make their way down. Remember, the only team with 4 alive, and they've gone for this straight, let's get some control. But will this make them too open for other teams to fire at them? Asvrin already taking shots towards them, but will Riddle and Desperado start to do the same?
Avangar were quiet early on. Now they got themselves 3 kills with a chance to get even more from. They have the entire southern side of the circle, but it's going to be Fake and Cold and Mentapole potentially once they start crawling in. That can be that a nuisance to them. Asarin, damage taken towards him, needs to hug it down once again.
Now Northern Lights have the confidence, but are they going to be fully able to take control of this? They've been taking shots at Avangar. They've been quite focused there. The Deep is still hanging back. He's aware of Desperado position. It's Riddle that could be a real problem for him. First nade's going to be actually going out towards Fate, so Asvrin actually lands that one. That could have been the real problem for Avangar, so being able to find these players is key. Now Cold Dementor, he's looking for it, and he gets caught out. He was found by the Deep round the side. You were thinking maybe if he didn't get seen, they might be able to hold on, but Desperado, respectable 5th, especially with how many kills they got. Was it 11?
10 kills with it, I believe. Yeah, Talk and Avangar, they got a bit of help from the top on that one, but of course nothing's guaranteed. Just despite of that, because they still have a push uphill to make eventually. 10 seconds to go until the new one pops, and that's of course just going to be the center dot where everyone's going to try and crawl their way into the middle. Gotta give it to No Tech as well. Give it. He's been he's been alive for a while there in the middle of things, but now he's far out on the edge, and well, I mean, he has quite a crawl to make.
And I don't think, because he's not made any noise, I don't think anyone else is going to know he's there, because Desperado are down now, so he is literally just chilling. He can wait for this all to kick off. It's Riddle going up against Northern Lights, as well as Avangar starting to take some shots at him. This is where it could be a problem for Northern Lights. Yes, you have the numbers. Yes, you have 10 kills for now, but that can quickly turn around if you get caught. And you're trying to take so much control with both other teams pushing on you. You've got Riddle coming in from the east, and then down from the southwest, we've got Avangar. They're trying to take this fight and take it directly to Northern Lights. They've got to be so careful.
It's all about who gets the third party here and get the view on them over the other side. Nate just a bit too far. Quizzy down to just a couple of HP there. Really close, but not cooked quite enough. Next one comes up the middle, and that should be on the... Nope. What? Okay, never mind. Not gonna happen. Deep stays put, and Perfectix get the knock on towards Tuck.
Tuck gets finished off straight away. Avangar now need to be very careful. He's got to hit these shots. Unactive starts off strong, but okay, bro. He's able to deliver it back. Asvrin looking for the angle to fight from here, and Riddle at the same time trying to take these shots, but they're fighting both teams. They're just taking anyone who's out in the open, and this could be where Riddle try and take some control for themselves.
Riddle won the first game yesterday, and they will for sure want to be starting off with a good one here too. Keep in mind that it's Avangar and them. They're the ones fighting in the bottom, trying to stay put in it and make their way guaranteed into that top 12 spot in the Deep. 1 HP. It's not going to be enough though. Unactive finds him, takes him out, and that's going to be Northern Lights out in 4th place. Riddle trying to stay alive here. Give it. He's been crawling for light years now, and he has a chance to even win this game now.
If Azverin can get picked up here, that would be huge. Surely this isn't going to happen. Givit's been found. Clip trying to do the damage onto him, but they're still looking for Avangar. That's it. No tag team going to go out in third, but what a way for it to go.
Riddle have a chance to go back-to-back as first game of the day victors. Last 2 days here, but what can they do? Can they get it now? Jord all by himself. Avangar, they wanted a good way to start things off today, and this could be their win.
Sure, all on his own, looking for it. He's understanding of his position. The kill goes in favor of Azverin. Now it's Short all on his own. Starts out with a spray down. Does land the headshot. Gets a knock, but that's all he's going to get. As Avangar, they come back strong on Miramar. They take a win, and they do it with 8 kills.
Where were they? We wanted to see them. Welcome back, Avangar. 8 kills, an 18-point game for them. That's all they need. Not all they needed, because they need to get some more. They need to get some more, but that is the kind of start you want coming into the last 2 games of the day, and most importantly, coming into the final week. If we can come into on Monday, say, sure, we're going to wrangle, but guys, we wrecked them. We had it. Yeah. We took the kills when we could. We rotated wisely. Even in rough circles like these, they could get things working. Who knows? Maybe the momentum is what they've been missing.
And Avangar had to rotate from the far northeast, work all the way down. They went past Desperado, Besiktas, Winside, PG-18, shots being taken towards them. They managed to keep 4 alive for so long, and it wasn't until they started getting towards Phase 4 and Phase 5 where they did start to lose players. But overall, they managed to handle that situation pretty well, and they get away with the win from it with 8 kills alongside. Not the most amount of kills. They didn't get active in terms of kills for a while, but in the overall grand scheme of things, considering how far down they were, this is probably a huge jump up.
Rather get an 18-point game here than potentially 6 kills early and finish off in 12th place, right? I mean, they had the chance to engage like Besiktas did, when they had the whole bottleneck down there of teams trying to swoop around on the east side. They were like, you know what? No, let's just continue. There are more important things in life right now than rotation kills. And, well, I mean, it worked out for them.
It certainly did. As Riddle, though, they're going to be happy with that. They're 2nd place, I think, is very respectable, all things considered.
And it's important for both of them to get points, but of course, unfortunate that you get points up against the team you're trying to beat for both of their sake. So they're going to be relying on the guys even further up than where they are to start crumbling. That would be teams like Moonwolf and Quickmath and other teams. I mean, Quickmath did go out somewhat early on, but they did manage to get a couple of kills their way, so it's not going to be the worst game for them. Of course, it's going to be interesting to see who will reign supreme coming into that final week. Because also, I think mentally, there's another pressure, like another type of pressure coming into it when it's that, guys, we have 1 week to go.
Yeah, and that's it, right? You up until that point, you can easily look at the amount of games and think, I've got forever. This is going to be great. I've got all this time to get. And then you sit on the last week and you go, someone did some bad maths here, didn't they? This is maybe not as easy as we thought it would be.
Yeah, nothing is easy when it comes to PUBG, especially not when it's for this caliber of play. Teams are doing extremely well. They'll surprise you by being one with the buggies, and they'll find their ways to
that was
take you down
as well. The one with the buggies, because you just admittedly you'd think they're hiding behind it, right? You'd never look directly, and you're like, oh man.
It was actually part of the wheel there for a second.
The moment he realized he messed up.
Yeah, Desperados had a good play there on the rocks as well. They were unfortunately getting pinned down by multiple teams, but I like the way that they utilized Calvin in these situations. We saw it yesterday on a wrangle when they had that fight with Tornado Energy down by the forest south as well. How they always send him out on the side. It's not like Aaliyah, the passive flanker, that waits for them to come towards him. He always takes that flank, trying to disrupt their focus forward, because even if he doesn't get the knock, he'll be able to get them looking the other side for just a split second, and that's all Sarah and the other guys need to just swoop it down the middle and just full on take him out. So really, really smart use of that position. Unfortunately, I don't know if he held it a bit too long, the angle there, but he got the knock, weren't able to reposition with his team and was taken down, but great fight for them, and honestly, 10 kills, you can see them right there sitting in 3rd place overall.
8 kills for Avangar, 11 for Northern Lights, and 10 for Desperado. Big numbers coming out from these top 3 teams, and that's why they're up there with all the points they have. And all things considered, Northern Lights went out in 4th, but still took 2nd overall in this match, which is the power of the points, the power of the kills, and how it can all work out. Anuctive and Quizzy going to be leading the charge in terms of kills this time around, and honestly, Anuctive, 6 kills out of the total of 8 for your team. That's not too bad, buddy.
That is a good effort put in by him, in-game leader for the team as well, throwing in some good numbers, showing the guys how it's done, and telling them what's needed to be done in order for them to make it to Berlin.
And it's a long road ahead still for some of these teams if they want to rack up these points, Avangar being one of them. Avangar at this point are just hoping to creep into the top 12, top 10 ever so slowly with this. And these 18 points are certainly going to help them.
Oh, yeah.
But they need a lot more from this. I need to see them every game for the next 2 games here, at least in the top 8 and at least getting kills across like 4 kills plus.
Yeah, I think they were sitting 40 points out coming into this game from 12th place. And of course, I mean, sure, you get 18 points here, but the guys that you're trying to catch up to also got some points, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to keep on happening. So every single game you have to surpass the guys you're trying to beat in points, or else it doesn't really matter. So good for Avangar to get them on the points they did. And of course, Alexi right here, Noctiv, managing to rack up 6 kills. Good performance by him. And Quizzy, pretty much tying up in damage too.
I've been really impressed by Quizzy. He continues to do it for me. When the way he was kind of hovering over the hills, right, popping up, and the quick reactions he had on the spray down, he was pre-firing spots before the teams could even react to it, just because he popped up, saw where they were, and was like, cool, I know what I'm going to do from here. Avangar, though, they do creep into just 12th place off the back of this, so they jump over Riddle and Winside. Obviously, Winside, they went out in 9th place. They didn't get too many kills alongside it. Riddle, though, did have a good game, but they didn't get that many kills. That was the problem for them. They had 5 kills in the 2nd place.
They are tying things up with Winside, though, and you can see how close it is. Because Avangar got back up, there was 20 points, not 40 points, I'm sorry. But because Avangar got the way back up there, look at this thing. 12th, 13th, 14th, just 3 points apart for all these 3 teams. We're getting into the exciting parts now.
Yes, it's all getting very close, but it's not over just yet. We've got 2 more games of Miramar to come your way today, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you go really quick and come back to here, come watch the stream, because let's see, maybe we do get an island ending. It was close last time. Maybe I can get it happening next time. We'll see.